Tonight, before you scroll away, listen carefully because this message may have reached you for a reason. Maybe God knew you were tired of pretending to be strong, tired of smiling while hiding pain, and tired of fighting battles nobody else understands. Maybe tonight, God wants you to remember something you forgot. You are not alone. There was a woman living in Chicago who woke up every morning at 5 a.m., went to work, took care of her children, and carried a smile on her face as if everything in life was fine. But behind that smile was fear. Fear of losing her home, fear of failing her children, and fear that life would never get better. Every night after her children fell asleep, she sat quietly in the kitchen, staring at unpaid bills spread across the table. One night, she completely broke down, crying the kind of tears that come from a soul that feels exhausted. Through those tears, she whispered, "God, I can't do this anymore." The next day at work, her manager unexpectedly called her into the office. Her heart sank because she thought she was about to lose her job. But instead, he told her she was being promoted because of her hard work. At that moment, she cried again, but this time they were tears of relief. Later, she said something powerful. "I thought God was ignoring me, but he was preparing something behind the scenes." And maybe that is what is happening in your life, too. We live in a world where many people are emotionally exhausted. People wake up every day carrying pressure nobody else sees. Bills, anxiety, depression, loneliness, and fear about the future. Many smile online while secretly falling apart inside. Maybe lately, you have been asking yourself why life feels so empty or unfair. But just because God is quiet does not mean he is absent. A seed grows in darkness before it breaks through the ground, and maybe your breakthrough is growing in places you cannot see yet. There was a man in Texas who lost almost everything in a single year. His business failed, his marriage ended, and then a doctor gave him terrifying news about his health. That night, he sat alone in his car for hours in complete silence. For the first time in years, he prayed honestly and said, "God, if you are still with me, I need you now." Weeks later, after more testing, doctors discovered the earlier diagnosis was wrong. He did not have the life-threatening illness they feared. Later, he said something that shocked everyone. The miracle was not just the good news. The miracle was that pain brought me back to God. Sometimes pain wakes us up and brings us closer to the one we ignored during comfortable seasons. Right now, someone listening feels emotionally drained. You feel like you have been strong for too long, helping everyone else while secretly needing help yourself. At night, your thoughts become heavier, and you wonder if life will ever truly change. But God has not forgotten you, not even for a second. He has seen every tear, every silent prayer, and every lonely night. There is a reason storms come before rainbows, and darkness comes before sunrise. Some painful seasons are preparing stronger and wiser people. A young boy once asked his grandfather why God allows difficult times. The grandfather took him outside during winter and pointed at the trees. He asked the boy if the trees looked dead. The boy said yes, but the grandfather smiled and replied, "No, they are preparing for spring." Maybe your life is in a season like that right now. It feels cold, lonely, and painful, but it does not mean your story is over. It may simply mean God is preparing you for a new season you cannot yet see. The hardest thing about waiting is not knowing when life will finally change, but faith means trusting even before you see the answer. Some of the greatest blessings arrive after the hardest waiting seasons. One phone call can change your life. One opportunity can open a completely new future. One unexpected moment can heal years of pain. God understands the timing of all things perfectly. Tonight, maybe you feel broken because someone walked away, because you lost something important, or because you are emotionally exhausted from carrying too much alone. But your current situation is not your final destination. God can restore what feels permanently lost, heal broken hearts, and create miracles from impossible situations. Sometimes the biggest blessing is actually the prayer God did not answer because He was protecting you from something you could not see. One day, you may look back at this painful season and realize it was the chapter that changed everything. So tonight, before you sleep, talk to God honestly. Tell Him your fears, your worries, and your exhaustion. God listens to honest hearts, and some of the most beautiful chapters of life begin after the darkest moments. Do not give up now, because your story is still being written, and God may already be working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet understand.